Hey you guys, I wanted to talk to you today about the inner critic. You know the voice I'm talking about. The one that seems to always show up right when you have a creative idea, or when you're moving with your artwork and painting something, or maybe you're writing something, and then you have this voice that shows up that I'm calling today the inner critic. So I'm Terry Runyan, visual artist and creative encourager, and I want to start by saying the inner critic is basically a liar. The inner critic has nothing to do with who you are. Creativity itself, the sense of creativity, the act of creativity, being creative in life, is who you are. And what happens as we move forward with our creativity is we have this nagging habit of thought that comes up that starts throwing a bunch of manure at us, that's saying something that is not true about us. But it seems like it is because it's happening in our own head. We've become so accustomed to listening to the thoughts in our head as if they're true that we don't recognize that the thoughts that are going through are fleeting and they have nothing to do with us. So today I'm just going to play with this idea of the creativity of who we are and this inner critic that comes up, and dispel any idea that it might be something that's real or true to you. I'm going to talk about this while I'm creating a piece of artwork. It's very possible that my inner critic will show up while I'm painting, and I will share those comments with you as they happen. So I do have a prompt I'm working to from the Daily Creating group, which is big and small. This is a very fun group. If you guys are interested in joining, I'll be linking to it down below. Tucker has decided to join us. So I'm going to go ahead and start this piece of artwork. I did do a little drawing already before I started this video, and I'm going to show it to you now. So that's my little drawing. I have the cat and its little fish friend. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the painting, and I'll be talking to you along the way. So I already had my inner critic come in and say, Terry, you're messing up with your paint. You've got your ear all messed up. So I'm just letting you know what's happening here. So back to it. Okay, I've got the shapes in now with my watercolor and a little bit of line work. I seem to be losing my voice today, but I'm going to continue anyway. So as far as this inner critic goes, the way I see it and the way I experience it is we have these flashes of inspiration where we have a sense of this, I really like to do that. We may not even know where this inspiration comes from. We probably don't know where this inspiration comes from. But we just have a sense of, it would be fun to play with paint, or maybe I should write something down, or let's make a video. So these are the things that come up from our creativity. They're just this energy of movement, of joy, of happiness, of peace. And then as we move along with it, or start towards it, or even think about moving anywhere, a lot of times the inner critic will chime in. This is the habitual thinking that at one point in our life was there for a reason, to sort of protect us and keep us from stepping out of that comfort zone or doing something that might prove to be too scary for us or something. And mine comes up as, you don't know how to paint, or why do you think anybody's interested in what you have to say or do? And so as I know more and more, and this is happening all the time, feeling into and moving forward with this creative piece and recognizing that when I do that, the inner critic is going to have its 2 cents. It's going to throw it on in there. The thing I've noticed though is that as I realize that the voice has nothing to say to me that's true. It's something I picked up along the way in the past that was erroneous and had nothing to do with who I am. That I can just see those for what they are, but they have nothing to do with who I am, and they have nothing to do with who you are. You are the creativity itself, that which wants to move forward in you, that spark, that inspiration. So as these voices come up, there's nothing to do with them. The less and less we pay attention to those thoughts, the quicker they seem to go away. And they also seem to come less frequently. They simply evaporate for a lack of energy. And now that I'm experiencing more and more the truth of who I am, which is this creative being, this joyful, happy, moving forward in the moment experience, the less I spend any kind of energy or attention on the voices that inevitably come up. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going with my creativity now and see what happens with this kitty and fishbowl. Okay, I'm going to call this done. I had plenty of opportunity to visit with my inner critic while I was working on this. And I realized that I'm sitting here in the middle of creativity and these thoughts that have nothing to do with me are passing through. So I just let them go on by. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. I'd love it if you share it around with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe. Also, I will link to the daily creating group below. And with that, have a great day, and I'll see you soon.